Now let's talk about those errors. So the errors down below are problems. They give you errors and they give you warnings. Errors and warnings, at least in Dart as it stands, warnings are actually pretty much errors. So if you have a warning, for the most part, your code either A, won't compile, or B, will most likely explode at runtime. There's something missing, you misspelled something, whatever else. So they really should be errors. But for sometimes, because of JavaScript's dynamic nature, and even Dart's dynamic nature, there could be dependencies or reasons at runtime that it could work, right? So because of that, Dart made them warnings to say, look, we're not going to prevent you from compilation. If there's a setting that changes to errors, I would do so, okay? So, for example, if I misspell my name, I've already defined it as my name. If I misspell it, similar to JS hinting or JS linting, it'll identify that that variable is wrong, can't find it. I don't know what this im_name thing is. You'll notice it'll tell you what file it is, what line it is, and what the guess of the error is. You can also notice that it's over here as well in the sidebar. So every file will have yellows and reds, and sometimes white and blues on the right, to blues for to-dos. That'll tell you where the error or warning is. You can click it, it'll jump to that place in the file. Often on the left, it'll have an idea of what to do, if it has any, sometimes. Other times it doesn't. When I change it back to my name, I don't even have to save the file, and it auto-corrects, okay? If I have errors, so if I have string my name 2, string my name is Gordon, and I don't have a semicolon, that is code that simply will not compile. They're very strict about using semicolons. So for example, it'll show an error. Now in this case, errors are red instead of yellow. And as I add the semicolon, or I can double click if I don't know where it is, I'm in another file somewhere, or deeper down, I don't even have to save it and it fixes it, okay? So errors, warnings, about the same thing as far as we're concerned with Dart. Now, it also supports to-dos. So we can type in // doesn't matter if it's a space or not, to do, fix this insanity. You'll notice that those show up as blue. So I need to do something, I can see the to-dos that I have to do for my particular file, and there is a filter for the problems tab that you can turn those on. And it'll show them as tasks, right? To-dos are basically tasks. So I can see all the to-dos I have to do for my particular code, and I can hover over it and it can tell it if it's a particularly large thing, right? So you can see in a list here. So that is the problems panel. It'll help you as you code, not just for one file, but many files. And it tries to prioritize them. It does a reasonable job for version 1.0 product as to what the most important ones are to focus on first that could potentially break other ones and basically make the rest of the errors irrelevant.